First one is from Vivek. How should I use this knowledge of the I being the eternal witness, separated from body and mind, to successfully perform the duty I have to do as a worldly person and achieve the goals I have set forward? This knowledge brings my mind to peace, but still I am unable to use this knowledge for the purpose of fulfilling my duty as a person in the world. Then from Alok, at this stage of my life, the preoccupation with earning money for a stable life makes me do work which I do not necessarily like, but also cannot leave. This makes my mind restless, coupled with the feeling that I am neglecting my spiritual life. How do I find peace in such a situation? And from Ravi, seeing how temporary life is and the futility in striving for possessions and position, I find myself lacking the passion to do anything. Serve others doesn't seem convincing, as suffering problems are fundamental to the nature of life. Birth brings with it the problems of sustenance. Even if one dedicates oneself to serving humanity, his or her work can at best be described as an attempt to plug a hole in a ship with a million holes that will inevitably sink. How should one live? And how and where can one find meaning and purpose? And lastly, from Abhilash, throughout your lectures, the truth most evident is that God, realization, and attainment of oneness is the prime goal of life. Is there not any way to marry this aim with the attainment of worldly perfection? If not, then toiling day and night for a Nobel Prize or Turing Award seems to be as petty as being an ignorant glutton. So if we can be successful, in quotes, and attain fulfillment in this life, then how should we go about it?
All right, I'm glad you've clubbed those questions together. You see what beautiful questions they are. They're written with a lot of feeling and seriousness, because you can see it comes from the person's present struggle in life. First, a little philosophical background, and then we'll go to the application. Look at the language used. I see that I am the witness of body and mind, and this gives me peace, different from body and mind, then obviously different from everybody else. I'm different from everybody else. Now you have taught me I'm different from the body, I'm different from the mind. I'm the witness, unchanging witness of a changing mind, changing body. It gives me peace. But I don't feel the urge to do anything more than. How do I live my life then? Because this witness consciousness is unaffected by this life. Whatever happens, happens. And the similar kind of questions have come. The other questions are also. In the struggle of life, first of all, is it worthwhile? And how do I do it? With what attitude? Is it at all relevant to spirituality if I am the eternally separate, unchanging witness of all of this? This happens when you leave Advaita incomplete. I have said again and again, in Advaita Vedanta, 2 steps are important. One is stepping back from the body and mind in your understanding and see that you are the witness of body, mind, and everything else. But that's only one step. This is called Atma Anatma Vichara, the distinction between the true self and the not self. Why is this necessary? Because right now we have mixed up the true self with what is not the self. Who am I or what am I? I'm consciousness, pure consciousness, Atma, Satchidananda, but actually, practically, I think and behave in a way as if, yes, I'm consciousness, no doubt, but I am also mind. All these thoughts, I am. Angry, I am angry. Desirous, I am desirous. Depressed, I am depressed. Apathetic, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything. I don't say there is a wave of apathy arising in the light, in my consciousness, so it arises and disappears. I am unattached. No, I don't say that. I am apathetic. Body, I am old or young or diseased or overweight or skinny, all of this body. So I am attached with the body and mind. I have included it in my definition of the self, in what I am. So that has to be excluded. That is the first step. Otherwise, I will not come to a correct understanding of what I am. That is called Atma Anatma Vichara. The Shankaracharya, in his famous hymn, Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. But what does he say first? Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chittani Naham. I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am not the memory, I am not the senses, I am not this body made of 5 elements. I am the witness consciousness. So first, neti neti, not this, you must first get clarity, really feel, I am this immortal consciousness. But that's only the first step. There's one more important step to be taken. If you stop there, it is a bit like Sankhya philosophy. But there's one more important step to be taken. This is not Advaita. It is not non-duality. How can it be non-duality? Because now I am pure consciousness, and here everything else, there are millions of things different from me. How is it not two? Yeah, it is millions of things. One consciousness and so many other things. Atma, Anatma. The next step is to reduce the Anatma to the Atma. That all these things I saw separately from myself are also myself. Yes, mind is also consciousness. Body is also nothing other than consciousness. In fact, the entire universe is nothing other than you, the consciousness. You alone are in the form of everything. You are one with everything. They are not separate, valueless things which you can dispense and walk away unconcerned. It's all one. It's one with you. Everybody is you yourself. So that is the second step. Swami Vivekananda put it very powerfully. 2 things he said. The divinity within us and the oneness of the universe. Central teaching of Vedanta. The divinity within us and the oneness of the universe. These 2. Otherwise, this problem will come. Alienation from the world. I am a witness consciousness. What about the others? Doesn't matter. Earlier alienated from every other person, but I hugged my body mind to myself. Now I'm alienated from body mind also. Extra problem. Vedantic problem. This example of the clay pot. What the example of the clay pot is, take a pot, it's a pot, but then you're told that actually there is something called clay apart from the pot, which is the cause of this pot. It is the material out of which the pot is made. The pot is not an entity. The clay is an entity. So clay is the cause, pot is the effect. So you have separated clay and pot in your mind. If you stop there, all these problems will come. You have to go one step further. What is one step further? That there is no clay and pot. It's not 2 things. It is one thing only. And what is that one thing? You started by thinking it's a pot. You should end up by thinking it's clay and clay alone. That is the purpose of the procedure. You start by thinking it's world, body, mind, and you end up by thinking, I, Brahman alone am all of this. Aham Brahmasmi, Brahme Vedam Sarvam, Atme Vedam Sarvam. I am Brahman. Brahman alone is all of this. The self, the real self, I alone am all of this. If you stop in between, I am separate, world is separate, then you have got 2 real things. World, body, mind, world, one thing, and I, the consciousness, one thing. That's not the correct, that's not the end of Advaita. That's not the conclusion, that is not non-dualism. You stop with clay and pot, obviously it's false. There are not 2 things. Can you show me separately? Clay separately, pot separately? No. Then the clay pot theory becomes problematic. Alan Watts, he called it the crackpot theory. The clay pot theory, if you don't complete it, from pot vision, Ghata Drishti to Mrittika Drishti, in Sanskrit very beautifully. Pot vision to clay vision. Without doing anything to the pot. You leave it unharmed. But you change your paradigm. From world, Samsara Drishti to Brahma Drishti. Sarvam Brahmamayam Jagat. Once this Drishti comes, then these problems will not arise. You have oneness with everything. Whatever you have to do in that station of life, you will do with gusto and enthusiasm and yet with perfect detachment. One Swami put it in one phrase to me many, many years ago, more than 20 years ago. I asked the question about karma yoga. How can one do work without desire? One needs a motivation to work. How can you do work without desire? And he said, disinterested work, my boy, not uninterested work. Now in English, the word disinterested and uninterested are different. Uninterested means, you say in Hindi, chalta hai. Let it somehow finish up the work. There is no need to do it. I'm not getting anything out of it, so just somehow finish it. I'm not interested. Telling me to do it, okay, I'll do it. But disinterested means, the meaning of disinterested is that I don't have an axe to grind. I don't have a personal motive behind it. A disinterested party. I can work with full enthusiasm. You're doing puja out of devotion to God. How carefully you do puja. Your thoughts, your speech, your actions, all the articles, everything is done so carefully and beautifully and seriously. And yet you don't want anything back there. Can you do all the work in the world like that? It'll be wonderful. So, that is spiritualizing life. That happens when you move not to pot drishti, clay drishti, but from samsar drishti to brahma drishti. Everything is my beloved God. So the suffering person is also my beloved Lord. The duty is also the puja of, which I'm going to give to my Lord. So why you feel apathy? Because the worldly goal does not pull you anymore, and that's good. That's why you feel apathy. The worldly goal does not pull you. You've seen through it now. It doesn't excite you anymore. Now that worldly goal has to be replaced by a spiritual goal. Until I am liberated, until I get moksha, nirvana, I must spiritualize all my activities. If I become apathetic, that is tamasic, not sattvic.